Welcome to Talk Wargaming, everyone. In this video I will be taking a look at this week's White Dwarf installment. On the cover of this issue we have the new Militarum Tempestus kit, which we'll be seeing a lot more of throughout the issue. So to begin with, we have the new release section, and we can see that there will be two new kits for the Militarum Tempestus. The Taurox Prime at £29 and the Tempestus Scions at £21. We also have a new codex for them, which will be only available through the Games Workshop online store. We begin the new release spotlight with the Militarum Tempestus Scions. Now, as a big fan of the Imperial Guard, these were great news for me when they were first rumoured. Now that I finally get to see them, I have to say that I'm very impressed. We get plenty of nice close-up shots of the Scions, which really shows off the kit. Here we have the Tempestus Command Squad, which can also be built from the Scion kit. We have a few more examples of the vast number of options you get in the kit. My favourite has to be the Tempestus Prime, which would make a great alternative for a company commander. Next up is the Taurox, which is a new transport option for the Imperial Guard, or as they will be known, the Astra Militarum. One thing that I have noticed is that the Astra Militarum vanilla army seems to be getting a change of paint scheme. The green is lighter than that of the current Cadians, and as you can see in this picture, the Chimeras and Baneblade in the background have the same colour scheme. Over on the next page we have the Taurox Prime, which is the souped up version of the Imperial Guard's Taurox. I'm not a fan of the colour scheme here. I don't think that the Scion's colour scheme works as well here, and the treads are a little too tall for my liking. Besides that, it's not a bad looking model overall, and you do get quite a few different weapon options, which we'll be looking at more later on. So finally, for this week's new releases, we have the books. These come in the form of the Militarum Tempestus Codex, which allows you to field an entire Tempestus army. I'm a little annoyed that these are only available online, as I do tend to buy from independent stockists usually, but we also have the Horus Heresy audiobook Scars, and finally a preview for April's Warhammer Visions. So we kick off the articles with Jarvis Johnson, who talks about the expansions to Warhammer 40k and how to fit them in your own gaming groups. So it's like things like Apocalypse and Escalation, stuff like that. Over on the next page we have an Apocalypse battle report between a Taudar force and Necrons. No prizes for guessing who won here. The report is an interesting and fun read, but it would be nice to see a few more pictures of the Necron force. We get a lot of the Taudar though. Once again, there is no sprues and glue article this week. Instead we get a 4-page paint splatter article on how to paint the new Taurox and also the new Scions. If you are interested in replicating how the studio got their Scions and Militarum Tempestus Taurox, then this article will be invaluable for you. So this brings us to the most interesting part of the issue, the rules listings for the Militarum Tempestus. We begin with the Taurox, which can be used by the standard Imperial Guard. At only 50 points it's a great way to get your troops where they need to be, and to bring a twin-linked autocannon to the game as well. The Taurox Prime, on the other hand, can be fielded by the Astra Militarum and has a lot more weapon options in which to take advantage of the Ballistic Skill 4. The anti-armour capabilities are limited to a Heavy 2 crack missile, but there are plenty of anti-infantry weapons available to choose from. You probably have to bring like a Vendetta or something along to a Militarum Tempestus force if you want to take on some vehicles. These extra weapon options and the Ballistic Skill 4 do go some way to explaining the extra 30 points, but also this is a fast transport, so it would be great for getting an early foothold on those objectives. But both of these are actually very lightly armoured, but their relatively low cost and ability to reroll failed dangerous terrain tests makes up for this. The rules listings for the Scions and the Command Squad continue on into the next page. The Command Squad is essentially the same as a platoon command squad, except you get stormtroopers instead of veterans. You can take all the same options such as Voxcaster, platoon standard and medic, and all the same weapon options, except from these get a hotshot volley gun. The Scion Squad is essentially the same as the current stormtroopers, except that you can no longer take the special operations, but you still do get deep strike and move through cover. To reflect this, the squad is 15 points cheaper than before, and you can take the hotshot volley gun as well. Now you might be wondering what this is. Now it's a new weapon option for the Militarum Tempestus, and it's a strength 4 AP3 salvo 2-4 weapon with a 24-inch range. What is also interesting is that over here we get a little bit of a preview for the new Astra Militarum Codex, which says that the first rank fire order can actually apply to the hotshot last guns as well, which is means that you can essentially get 30 Ballistic Skill 4 AP3 rounds from a full squad of Scions, so long as they're within 18 inches of a command squad. So this brings us to the final article of this issue, which is the designer's notes for the Militarum Tempestus. If you're looking to get some of the new kits, then this article is a great read. We also get a shot of the interior of the Taurox Prime's cockpit. So this issue draws to a close with a few pages of This Week in White Dwarf. This page is mainly focused on the Tempestus stuff, with another shot of the Taurox crew over here. What is strange is that the guy with the helmet kind of looks like he's got his hand on the other guy's knee, which is interesting. Over the other side of the page, the articles continue. We have a little column here which talks about the regimental advisors, so we can be pretty much assured that these will be making a return in Astra Militarum. On the final pages, we have a picture of a Necron Tesseract Vault with a Catan and a preview for next week. This quite definitively announces that we'll be seeing the Astra Militarum in next week's issue, so some great stuff to look forward to there. And we finish with a shot of the Militarum Tempestus Command Squad. Well, if you are going to be getting some of the new Tempestus stuff, then I would definitely recommend picking this issue up. The rules and the painting articles will be great help when deciding what to buy. If you're not a 40k fan, then you probably should skip it. Other than a tiny few articles at the very end, it's very lacking in non-40k content. So that was our review of White Dwarf Weekly issue 9. If you would like to see more reviews, news and tutorials, then visit talkwargaming.com. There will be a link in the description. We are also on Twitter and Facebook, which I will pop a link to down there as well. Thanks for watching and goodbye.